See them let go of some hands. Looks like Eric is going to bump it up to 20. Yeah, 20 with the king 10 off. Jacob going to make the call with king 3 suited. Esteban looking like he wants to call with his queen 9 suited. I would expect this deep. I would expect him to be calling with more hands. Oh, he actually elects for a raise there. I like that.
I like it.
Because you can get some better hands to fold, like queen 10 off, maybe queen jack off will fold for 80.
And Ryan decides not to try his hand at the 7 deuce.
Probably smart. We haven't seen Esteban get too out of line. So it's safe to put him on a fairly strong range.
Preston's going to 4-bet with the ace jack off suit, but he is dominated by his neighbor, AntMan, with a better ace. He's got ace queen.
And this is where the leveling wars can come into play, because AntMan has been watching Preston play. He knows Preston is probably 4-betting wide and is going to be more willing to 5-bet. Doesn't like to just call. I
love that look on Preston's face. He was really surprised with that flat behind.
And yeah, it looks like king 10 and king 3 are going to be let go. And Esteban, I don't expect him to continue with his queen 9 suited. He might feel like he's getting bullied, which can sometimes lead people to call with these sort of middling hands. Like I said, he's made some pretty disciplined folds that ever since I've been watching him, but it does look like he's going to go ahead and make this call here. Still plenty of boards that will be good for him if he does elect to call here, but he looks like he has a real decision. He does elect to call. And we're going to see almost $1,000 pot going into the flop at this 1-2 game.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
And ace high flop. Preston with ace jack. AntMan with ace queen. Preston is going to have to imagine that he's going to almost always be good here, especially when AntMan just flats behind, which takes out a lot of the like ace king type hands that he's going to have. This could get really ugly for Preston here, especially with AntMan being the other biggest stack at the table. That is a really brutal flop for Preston.
2 hearts on the flop. AntMan has 1.
Yeah, I think if you're AntMan here, it looks like he does like to raise. Yeah, I was curious whether he was going to raise it or just flat. I kind of like just a call a little bit better, just because you'll keep in some of Preston's bluffs. But he might want to try to get some more value against flush draw type hands while he still can. And Preston going to just call. So this pot is almost $3,000 going into the turn. This might be the biggest pot of the night already, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Offsuit 8.
Pairs the board.
And it gives Preston some chop outs with any ace or king.
Well, yeah. There's a lot more non-chop outs. He's really in trouble.
I think he's in trouble, too.
I mean,
we'll see what he chooses to do.
It's worse than, it's like 85-15.
Yeah, no, it's not where you want to be as Preston, but does like to just check. I think he's assessing that AntMan is either going to have some nonsense or some really strong aces when he raises the flop, and the 7 not going to help Preston out at all. Does like to check, and the question is, will AntMan go for value here? And I kind of think that he will, but maybe he thinks that the pot has already gotten big enough that he doesn't need to get more value. But I think you always want to get value.
That was my initial read.
Yeah, it does end up
Preston's
just checking it
gonna
back. And, he might put Preston on some, like, heart draws that are obviously not going to call a bet, but could maybe check raise as a bluff, and then you're in a really horrible spot. Does like to just check back and still drags a $3,000 pot for it. I mean, AntMan... That's the second time that somebody has squeezed when he's woken up with a monster.
Yeah.
And then also had a great board for it. I mean, he's running super hot right now. Which